When discussing the wealthiest people, you might start thinking about those people listed in Forbes. However, the richest had come way before they began to list them. Their names have been written in history and have showcased their wealth way before they could even earn a single penny. Today, let's discover the world's richest person. But first, please remember to hit like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay updated on the latest in the luxury world. At Luxury Mindset, we bring you all luxurious information ranging from items, cars, houses, places, and even people who bathe in luxury. Not only that, but we also give you pretty much the amount you would need to purchase any of these luxurious stuff. So if you're interested in the rich, becoming rich, or even dreaming of lying on a mattress of gold or dollar bills, click the notification bell to keep yourself updated on this channel. Let's begin with William the Conqueror. The first monarch of England, William the Conqueror accumulated a fortune that overpowers the estimated $88 billion of fortune now held by the English royal family. At age 38, he took control of the British island and established a vast wealth worth $228 billion today. Taxes levied on Normandy peasants, who were either extremely wealthy or excessively taxed into poverty, made him around one-third of his income. The remainder of his wealth came from the occupied British area, where local nobles had to pay hefty taxes to maintain their lands and way of life. Most of William's riches, especially his penchant for gold, were used to construct important buildings, including churches, forts, castles, and the recognizable White Tower. His wealth made it unsurprising that he was into intricate tapestries, making his domain a sea of gold and silver. Let's move on to India's wealthiest person ever to exist, Osman Ali Khan. Osman Ali Khan, the last ruler of Hyderabad, was the wealthiest man in India and the world during his time, with a net worth of at least $230 billion. He was in charge of the world's only running diamond mine, which helped him accumulate immense wealth. However, he reinvested much of his profits into his country's infrastructure to improve the lives of his citizens. Ali Khan had acquired great possessions for himself, including gold, silver, and jewels worth over $600 million, and the Jacob Diamond, worth approximately $50 million. He gifted Queen Elizabeth II with diamond jewels, a tiara, and a necklace for her marriage, demonstrating his wealth and grandiosity. Back to Europe, we have Russia's Nicholas Romanov. Nicholas Romanov, the last Russian emperor, unintentionally set the stage for the spread of communism through his poor leadership. He amassed a personal fortune of $300 billion while his people lived in poverty. His wealth originated from selling Alaska to the United States, which he feared could fall into British hands. Despite not knowing the peninsula's resources then, he made a substantial profit from the sale. Nicholas and his family's luxurious lifestyles, exemplified by their beautiful mansions in Moscow and St. Petersburg, are still envied by modern-day millionaires. Dating back to the middle of the 20th century, we have John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller, the founder of Standard Oil Company, amassed a fortune estimated at over $1 trillion during his career and had a net worth of over $400 billion at the time of his death. His company controlled 90% of the U.S. oil market for several decades in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Despite his immense wealth, Rockefeller was known for both his ability to accumulate and spend money. He paid Winston Churchill to write his biography and built palaces filled with fine art to avoid being drafted during the Civil War. Additionally, Rockefeller was an early adopter of cars, owning one of the earliest automobiles ever made and setting a standard for wealthy individuals to have expensive car garages. Next, Mansa Musa I. Mali was a prosperous country during the 14th century, ruled by the wealthy Emperor Musa I, who had a net worth of approximately $415 billion in today's money. Mali emerged as a leading power while Europe was grappling with the turmoil caused by famine, war, and disease. Musa I conquered Timbuktu, an important trade city, which helped to increase the kingdom's wealth. In 1324, Musa I embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca with a vast entourage, including camels, horses, and tons of gold. He built mosques everywhere he stopped, but his lavish spending led to inflation and economic collapse in the areas he visited. Despite the country's current reputation, Mali was a formidable force during Musa's reign. The previous entries about other wealthy rulers may pale in comparison to King Solomon, who is considered the richest ruler in the world according to the Bible. The book's trustworthiness may be debatable, but according to its accounts, King Solomon received an annual tribute of approximately 25 tons of gold for 39 years straight, equivalent to building a palace out of golden bricks without giving them to anyone. Experts estimate that his wealth during his reign, including tribute taxation and other sources of income, would be equivalent to around $2.2 trillion in today's money. Despite the questionable nature of the information source, the Bible insists that all of Solomon's spending was virtuous, and he even built the first Jewish temple in Jerusalem. It's up to the reader to decide which account is more believable. Vladimir Putin may seem like he's on the brink of appointing himself the first emperor of the world's biggest country, but Augustus Caesar beat him to the punch around 2,000 years ago. Augustus made a political move that paid off hugely, earning him riches equivalent to $4.6 trillion today. He owned Egypt, which supplied half of the Roman Empire's food, and inherited at least 10 million gold coins from his uncle Julius, worth $200 billion today. Augustus spent much of this money on infrastructure, building roads, monuments, and temples, and funding public entertainment like chariot races and gladiator fights. He also maintained a personal army of 250,000 soldiers, paid generously to ensure his rule over the country. All of this investments allowed Augustus to stay in power, rule the largest country in the world, and accumulate an incredible amount of wealth. Then we have Akbar I. Akbar I ruled over a quarter of the world's GDP, making his immense wealth of $21 trillion somewhat less impressive, but still an unimaginable amount of money. He lived a luxurious lifestyle, building 3 grand palaces in Delhi, Agra, and Fatehpur, adorned with so much gold that even Donald Trump would be astounded. Akbar was a great patron of the arts, spending millions on paintings, books, music, and other forms of artwork, decorating the interior with silk and marble. He even attempted to create his religion by combining Hinduism and Islam to unite a violently divided nation. Despite his immense wealth, Akbar's contributions to art and culture continue to influence Indian society today. Another Asian who topped the list is Shenzong. Shenzong was the Chinese emperor from 1067 to 1085 during a period of prosperity in China. He implemented new social policies that relieved the poorest farmers and led to peace and economic growth in the country. During his reign, China controlled over 30% of the world's GDP, and Shenzong had a fortune equivalent to $30 trillion at the peak of his power. He used most of his spending to improve the lives of his subjects, although only a little is known about his lifestyle due to limited historical records. And the richest of them all, Genghis Khan. Despite being infamous for brutal warfare and causing the death of millions of people, Genghis Khan managed to amass a fortune equivalent to $100 trillion. He invented the first bioweapon, which led to the bubonic plague, killing a quarter of the world's population 2 centuries later. However, despite having hundreds of wives and numerous children, he did redistribute his wealth among his subjects. Genghis Khan's legacy is tarnished by the atrocities committed during his reign. Still, his approach to ruling a country with an iron fist and infusing its economy with personal finances has played a role in his wealth accumulation, although it is not recommended. So, which of these historical people do you aspire to become? What kind of legacy would you like to leave behind? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to click the notification bell to stay updated with the latest in the luxury world here at Luxury Mindset.